We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, would interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Today is August 16th, 2026. As far as updates, I weed-eated the front lawn. I am currently playing Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for Game Boy. I'm going to be doing a game review on it, and yeah, also playing The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, which I put out an episode earlier today. As far as basically I've been wanting to get into gaming history and all that stuff, and stuff like that with each game that I'm currently playing, along with a game review on it, as The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls. I put out an episode earlier today on it. If you like Blue Pill Podcast, if you like the video game type stuff I'm doing, if you like Legend of Zelda, go check it out. We get into Ernest Hemingway and his novel, For Whom the Bell Tolls. There actually is obviously some relation, some inspiration, and the storylines actually kind of coincide in a way. It's almost like a fantasy adaptation to an extent, you know. But drinking a cup of coffee, I started feeling a little drowsy, and I'm like, I don't feel like taking a nap. I'm gonna get some more yard work done. I got a tree I gotta trim up, and then I gotta weed eat the backyard. Fun, and it's hot as fuck. And if you've clicked on the title, you already know what we're going to get into. This is something I heard the other day, and I've been covering data centers. I have a data center playlist in YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, go on YouTube and subscribe, because that's where all my stuff is organized through playlist. I'm not going to shut up about this data center stuff. And this year was the hottest year on record, and I believe it. We are literally we have AC going. I have blackout fucking curtains and shit. Well, not curtains, but literally shit to block out the sun. It's been 90 degrees here in Kentucky for a while. We had last week we had 3 days of thunderstorms and dark rain, and it cooled everything down, and it's just jumped right back up. A lot of people don't know this, but data centers are heating up the earth, consuming water, and literally there's neighborhoods who live near data centers, and they're saying that it is literally bumped up the degrees within the neighborhood 10 to 15, 20 degrees. So a day that it should be 70, it's 85. So, but what you're going to hear from mainstream news is, it's not the data centers, it's climate change. And if you're a listener of Conspiracy Corner, you know all about the climate change hoax. Now, I already know there's going to be, and I think half of them are bots, because I somewhat subscribe to the dead internet theory. But there's always some little science nerd who comes in my comment section and, are you a scientist? You know nothing what you're talking about. You haven't looked at the data. And yeah, there's gonna be that one guy, you know. But be nice to him in the comment section. Don't gang up on him, which you guys know. I ain't gotta preach to you. My crowd is cool. Unlike a lot of other, conspiracy content creators, we're not pieces of shit around here. We use Occam's razor. We don't gang up on people. Every once in a blue moon, I will literally be like, okay, today's shots fired. Fuck this other content creator. And I usually have, honestly, like, I have to say 100% of the time, I have a reason to say that, But today we're going to cover something that's a little concerning because they're already putting it within the algorithm. They're already doing lesser magic. You guys know me, I'm an occultist. I've taught you guys greater and lesser magic, the meaning of it, the concept of it, revelation of the method, predictive programming. It's 3 different words for the same thing. It's lesser magic. They're already putting lesser magic out there. They're already casting the spell. And we're going to dive into it. But before I do that, I'm going to do a shameless plug real quick. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you choose to donate to the channel, it helps pay for, honestly, it's helping me pay bills. I have some Blue Pill Podcast stickers that I'm going to come out with. I haven't made them yet. I don't have any merch at all. And I call it merch, but you're really not even buying it. Like, you're just donating and I just send it to you. And honestly, most of this shit I just give to people for free. I'm taking a loss, But, yeah, I do plan on creating that. So if you want to donate to the channel, I will send you a Conspiracy Corner bookmark. I will sign the back of it. Unless you don't want me to, you can message me through Buy Me a Coffee. But yeah, let's get on with the show. So they're already putting it within the zeitgeist that this year, supposedly, from what I heard, was supposed to be the hottest year ever in recorded history. And they're saying that next year will be the hottest year ever in reported history. That it's going to be hotter than this year. And I do have to say, like, that's interesting. All these data centers are going up, They're blaming it on El Nino. Here's the thing, though. We, within our community, already know that it's not a conspiracy that they can control weather. I mean, they were fucking around with weather warfare during JFK's time. And you're going to hear that little science nerd within the comment section of, no, they weren't. That's a conspiracy. You're crazy. That's all actually been declassified. It was called Operation Popeye, which one day we're going to do an entire episode on and a deep dive on. So it's, no, shut up, little Neil deGrasse Tyson fucking nerd. It's a proven fact. They can control the weather. They did it during Vietnam, you dumb fuck. So, who's to say they didn't create this El Nino? El Nino expected to bring next record hot year as soon as 2027. Has nothing to do with the data centers, has nothing to do with weather control. Let's hear what the mainstream is saying. And by the way, apparently we've had like a horrible El Nino this year. That's what they're saying is the reason for all of this heat. And let's say it is naturally occurring. Let's say they didn't try to, let's say not even play the devil's advocate. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt that they weren't purposely trying to create this El Nino. Let's just say it happened as a reaction to, I don't know, possibly aerosol spray, chemtrails, which we know controls the weather. Like, every reaction has a reaction. You can't sit here and fuck with the weather and expect there not to be strange anomalies and strange reactions to it. So this could be a natural reaction. HAARP, who knows? So, the odds of a new global temperature record being set within the next 5 years have increased further, as the return of the El Nino weather pattern could make 2027 the hottest year ever within recorded history. The UN's weather agency has warned The World Meteorological Organization, WMO's annual update predicts an 86% chance that at least 1 year between 2026 and 2030, it's always that year. And I've been asking this to myself and rhetorically, what is it about that year that they're so obsessed with? Me and Red Pill Paradigm did an interview together, so go check him out. Shout outs to him. Tell him who sent you. We did an interview together, and I asked him, I'm like, why are they so obsessed with this Great Reset, this 2030? Why are they rushing? Back in the day, they used to hide in the shadows and slowly pull off their little shenanigans. Now it's just like full steam ahead, you know, no holds barred. We got to get this done by 2030. What is it about 2030? Is something going to happen and they know that something's going to happen? Is that why the bunkers are built? Or his simple answer, but and it does make sense, was all these elites, they want to see it one world order completely pulled off, dystopian future within their lifetime. They're all about to die. If not some of them, most of them are dying. Supposedly. Some of them I'm like, I don't know if this motherfucker's dead. They want to see it pulled off within their lifetime, which makes sense. They want to see fruition. The rotten fruits of their labor. You know what they say, judge a man by his fruits. Well, what am I saying though? 2030 though. It's always 2030. We got to get it done by 2030. Like, it's a rush. We'll surpass 2024 as the warmest year on record. Okay, so I was wrong. This year apparently was not the warmest year on record. For some reason I thought it was, but up from 80% in the last year's forecast. Global average temperatures reached 1.55 C, above pre-industrial levels in 2024. When the last El Nino event supercharged human-made warming primary caused by the greenhouse gas emissions generated through burning fossils fuels. Of course, climate change propaganda. Meteorologists expect El Nino, the natural climate phenomena criticized by unusually warm sea surface temperatures in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Interesting. I know that China has been putting data centers within the ocean. Is the Pacific Ocean on the coast of China? Let's look that up real quick. Okay, so they are not on the ocean. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they fucking are. Yeah, China's on the Pacific Ocean. And me was the South China Sea. Nope, they're on the Pacific Ocean. I knew because I remember, and when we need to cover it one day, we'll do a deep dive. They have a data center within the Pacific Ocean. We all know data centers heat up the Earth. And I think that that's why the Earth is so fucking hot. It's on the Pacific Ocean. And who's to say it's not weather warfare against us? You know, I'm not trying to like parrot the mainstream media, but I do think that China is not our friend. People are like, don't worry about China. You know, I always said don't worry about North Korea, and I honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe that they are no threat. But I do think that we should always keep an eye on Russia and China. I think that we shouldn't be paranoid. We shouldn't be doing Red Scare shit, but we should be concerned, you know. Now, the mainstream media will take that and spin it and go, oh, we got to beat them in the race for AI, so that's why we have to build these data centers. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we should just always keep our head on a fucking swivel. So, Meteorologists expect El Nino, okay, where were we? Pacific Ocean, to start developing as early as this month. Some forecasters say this time around the event could become particularly powerful. Leon Hermansen, the lead author of WMO Report, said the prediction of El Nino for the second half of 2026, which we are getting into, increases, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, we're in the second half of 2026. Increases the chance of the following year, 2027, being the next record-breaking year. So they are expecting next year to be the hottest year on record, as far as historical record. I wish that they would stop playing God. And honestly, dude, what I did, I covered Europe's heat wave this year, and how they were banning AC units because of the grid, banning like electricity use, and there was literally like thousands of people died because of the heat wave. Go check that episode out. I'll link it down below. And no one's talking about it. But just like thousands of people died in Europe because of the heat wave, because they banned AC units and shit. Like, they are, and this ties in with population control. They are literally killing us off. Whether it's going to be through heat. Dude, it is like, it's like 80 degrees in here, 80 something degrees in here. And I got AC unit blowing. I got fans going. I have that fan off because I want the audio to be good. It's like 90 something. It's getting into the 90s and shit outside, dude. Like, if it's gonna be hotter next year, like, my AC unit, I guarantee you, is going to be fucking dead. That's $10,000 that I don't have. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get fucking bad, man. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but this is concerning. They're literally trying to kill us with heat, and they're gonna use up all the water with data centers, so we have nothing to drink. It's gonna get crazy. I mean, we covered what Jeff Bezos telling us, that we need to stop worrying about water, and we need to not drink water, because AI will figure out a solution for water. Like, what are we talking about, man? Researchers warn that a strong El Nino risks supercharging extreme weather conditions, contributing to more severe wildfires. How convenient. You know, that has nothing to do with direct energy weapons, or we covered the wildfires when they happened in California, which I think here recently they had even more. You know, blue roofs, and what was it, Joe Biden literally saying, like, I guess they should have had a blue roof in a speech, and like, what'd you just say? And droughts in some regions, and storms and floods in others. The UN agency says there is a 91% chance that the key 1.5 degrees Celsius warming threshold will be temporarily exceeding again for at least 1 year between 2026 and 2030. An overshoot in a single year does not mean that the most ambitious global warming enshrined in the Paris Agreement has been lost, but the UN conceded last year that a multi-decadal breach is very likely to happen within the next decade. And they're already saying next year could possibly be the hottest year in history. Bill Hare, CEO and senior scientist at Climate Analytics, said WMO's warning the hottest years lie just ahead is a result of government's historical failures to cut greenhouse gas emissions at sufficient scale. So, Bill Hare, you are a fucking evil, Baal-worshipping piece of shit. I guarantee. Check his hard drive. The greenhouse emissions. So yeah, we should put fart bags on cows. Yeah, and me and you should stop eating meat. We need to stop drinking water too. its darkness. This increases the need for investment in adaptation to extreme weather events and other impacts of climate change, and increases the loss and damage from such events facing climate vulnerable nations, he added in a statement on the updates. Astonishing early heat wave in Europe. And this is what we covered. Check that episode out. I will link it down below in Spotify under related episodes, because you can choose to. If you're on YouTube, just go to the data center playlist, or I don't know if that one's under the data center playlist. I don't know. Just go through my library. You'll find it. You can always go at the bar, the search bar, under someone's channel, and you can find any fucking video. It's something along the Europe heat wave. Just type in keywords and you'll fucking find it. If you want to know more about that and how many people died, and no one's talking about it. Western Europe has already been gripped by an early season heat wave this month. So this month, with countries including the UK, France, and Ireland recording their hottest May temperatures ever. Temperatures on this scale were once exceptional, even at the height of summer, said Frederick Otto, professor of climate science at Imperial College London. Seeing 35 degrees Celsius, of course, where it's European, everything's in Celsius. Sorry if you're an American listener. You can do the math. Just grab the thermometer off your wall if you have an old school Mercury one. It's the easiest way to just do the math real quick. Seeing 35 degrees Celsius in UK during spring is absolutely astonishing, but the science is very clear. Climate change makes these heat waves hotter, longer, and more frequent. So this Frederick Otto is into the whole climate change hoax. And by the way, I've said this a billion times. They always take a word and they either invert it or they make it to where they change definitions. We've seen that with COVID, changing the definition of a vaccine. And I talked about it and everyone just looked at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears. Like, I don't get it. And then they're like, well, definitions of words do change over time. Yeah, I know, but that's not concerning to you that during a pandemic they're changing the definition of vaccine? That's not concerning or weird or a synchronicity? But climate change is it's redundant, really. Because climate is always changing. That's like what we have these things called seasons. So like when spring turns to summer, that would be a climate change. If it's sunny outside and tomorrow it's going to rain, that would be the climate changing. A climate change. You see how they take these words that actually have meaning and then they take them and hijack them and destroy the actual meaning of the word. Like the word progressive is a good example. When people hear progressive, their immediate gut reaction is, oh God, one of those people. It's like, no, progressive is actually a good thing. The etymology, the origin of the word is progress, to progress, rather than to regress. Let's say I am the foreman of a job site. I would look at my men that day and go, hey, let's progress further today. You know, rather than regress. Let's build more rather than go backwards. Let's go forward rather than to go backwards. What are you, a progressive liberal? You know what I mean? They take words, beautiful words, you know, and destroy them. Conservative, meaning conservative's a good example too. When I hear conservative, my immediate gut reaction and the first thing I think of is, oh, that's some Bible thumping, homo hating, racist, gun toting redneck. I ain't gonna lie, that's the first thing I think. But conservative means like, hey, let's not just throw out our money. Let's conserve our money. Let's be frugal with it. To conserve food. Like, let's use food as an example. If you're conservative with food, it's like, hey, let's just eat until we're full. Let's not eat until we're gluttonous and throwing up. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. Hang on just a second. But yeah, man. What do you guys think, man? Next year, is it going to be the hottest year on record ever? I'm not trying to fearmonger, because I do see that a lot within our community of clickbait and fearmongering. So, like, I really try to avoid that. Like, obviously, because I got a comment the other day, a real nasty comment in my comment section. Dude, and no, it wasn't even my comment section. It was someone else's. And it was me and another content creator. We were both content creators talking amongst ourselves just about something content creation. We were just talking inside baseball. And some fucking asshole on the internet, a keyboard warrior, bumps in to our conversation. It's like, hey dude, it's an A-B conversation, see your way out. And by the way, you're not even a content creator, so like, fuck off. And he commented only to me, not the other content creator. He commented only to me like, well, if you did better thumbnails and better titles, then maybe you would get more views and clicks. And it's like, so you're basically, first of all, I'm shadow banned and I'm tombstone algorithmed. Go look up those two definitions before you even talk to me, motherfucker. I've been shadow banned. I pissed them off since COVID, and I've barely been able to slowly grow my channel. Slowly since COVID. I almost lost my fucking channel. I had to create another channel, which is another Conspiracy Corner podcast channel. You can find it. There's not much on there, but I was almost wiped off of YouTube, so fuck you. And two, it's called tombstone algorithm, meaning like once you piss them off, they're going to shadow ban you to the ends of the earth. And second off, you're like literally telling me to like be like and by the way, this is I apologize, but you want me to be like Marfugal or some of these like and I love Marfugal, he's a good guy. Or you want me to be like some of these TikTok reaction commentators who are like, that's their thumbnail, and then it shows a big red arrow and it says like ritual sacrifice at NASA. You know, like I'm sorry, I'm not doing that, dude. I'm going to title it so that way you know exactly what you're getting into when you click on it. And I'm going to use a thumbnail that's accurate to what I'm talking about. You guys aren't babies. I don't need to sit here like you're a baby and be like, whoa, dude, they're doing ritual sacrifices at CERN? I'm not doing that. You guys are grown-ass fucking adults. It's clickbait. I'm not doing fucking clickbait. That being said, I try not to fearmonger either, though. Like, I'm not saying that next year is going to be the hottest year on Earth. But I am going to say that they always like to tell you what they're planning before it happens. You guys know. You guys are smart. You guys are veterans within this community. You know that they always tell you what they're going to do. It's lesser magic. Hey, I'm going to poke you in the eye. Ow! Why'd you poke me in the eye? I told you I was going to. But I thought you were joking. No. These people are psychos. They tell you exactly what they're doing, when they're doing it. So I just think we should honestly, man, like, if you can, and I always like to say, I try not to be the bearer of bad news without giving some form of solution. First of all, get white-pilled. Get right with your maker. Second off, most listeners aren't even going to be here towards the end of the with a solution, or of listening to the solution, because I always have a huge dropout rate. People's attention spans suck. Second thing I would do, AC units, those little cheap ones that you can just plug into the wall and you fill it up with water and ice and it blows out cold air. I've got a couple of those. Well, I have one of those. My other one died. Those are cheap too. You can get those, man. They're like $50 right now. Tons of water. We need to be stocking up on fucking water, which we need to be stocking up on water in general because they're building all these data centers. Yeah, and just honestly, man, just ride it out, dude. Just tons of water. That's what I would be doing right now. If next year is supposed to be the hottest year ever on record, water and those little AC unit things. That's about all she wrote. Good luck, Godspeed. Oh, fans too. Tons of fans. Love y'all.